Every week in the Air New Zealand Cup, there are one or two games that can be described as, well, mouth-watering. And we have one of those about to unfold here at McLean Park in Napier tonight. Canterbury in first place in the Cup against Hawke's Bay, who lies second. And by the end of 80 minutes, we'll have a much clearer picture of the semi-finals, which are now only 2 weeks away. Well, it's a sellout crowd here tonight. So 17,000 crammed into McLean Park on what is a perfect night for rugby. There's virtually no wind and very mild conditions here as well. And there's so much at stake in this match here tonight. The 80 minutes is going to be excitement from go to woe, I'm sure. Joined by former All Black Ian Jones upstairs. And Carmo, this is one to look forward to.
Yeah, evening, Grant. Match around for me, Nisbo. I mean, these are the games that you want to play in as players. The top of the table clash, as you alluded to. The guys have worked so hard to get here. All the players, they want to test themselves on a big stage. In the Air New Zealand Cup 1v2, there is no bigger stage than McLean Park in Napier tonight. Of course, matchups galore, plenty of individual battles for us to talk about, but as you and I know, mate, it's going to be teamwork and unity which will win the day.
Yep, absolutely. Well, these are the guys that set the benchmark, really. Canterbury, they have a 7-point lead in the competition. They've had 10 wins and 2 losses, and out they come. Well, 7 of this forward pack are All Blacks, with Michael Patterson, the odd man, out. Isaac Ross back in action tonight after a lengthy break. In fact, this is his first match for Canterbury this season. Kieran Reid not here tonight after his head knock last week, so Richie McCaw steps in at number 8, as he did in the Shield Challenge against Wellington. And the feature of the back line is the return of Dan Carter at 10, but one player worth keeping an eye on again is Sean Maitland. The big right winger has really impressed this season, scoring 8 tries and putting himself in the frame for higher honours in the years to come. And as you'd expect, there is plenty of depth on the bench for Canterbury tonight as well. So Canterbury have gone to our right, to the southern end of the grounds, and I know one man on the sideline who's pretty excited about the prospects tonight is former Hawke's Bay man, and I guess we could say North Harbour too, Richard Turner. Pod.
Yeah, thanks, Nisbo. Yeah, well, you pretty much summed up conditions. Nigh on perfect, although there is the breeze is a little bit stronger than you think, Nisbo, blowing out of the northwest, so Canterbury will be playing into that wind in the first half. So it looks like Hawke's Bay have won the toss and decided to take the win and get into their work early. Talking to the Hawke's Bay management on the sideline, they're a bit worried. The boys are a bit nervy, but I'm sure they're up to the task. And listen to that roar.
Yeah, great welcome for Hawke's Bay, Jason Schumacher. Well, Hawke's Bay coach Peter Russell has stuck pretty close to the same pack throughout the entire season. And a player in the spotlight tonight is Hickur Elliott, with 3 hookers no doubt going on the All Black tour. Elliott must be in the frame after getting the call up last season. George Naopu slots in a rather unfamiliar position of lock, and this allows Michael Johnson to play in his favourite number 6 position. And something of an unsung hero, particularly in the latter half of the season, has been a former Canterbury man, Andrew Horrell. Played at first 5 when Matt Burkus was injured, and now he's moved out 1 and is keeping the reliable Sam Giddens on the bench. And of course tonight an exciting backline again, particular emphasis on Zach Guilford and Israel Dagg, and there's the 7 men on the bench for Hawke's Bay tonight. So all pretty much in readiness for this top of the table clash, and it's being refereed by Chris Pollock. So it's week 12 of the Air New Zealand Cup.
Cool. What?
And Dan Carter will get us going. Canterbury against Hawke's Bay at McLean Park. And Carter makes the kickoff. And it's gone right down the centre. And it's a good one too. It's been knocked forward though by Canterbury, and a loose pass from Hawke's Bay, but no advantage. So we'll go to the first scrum of the game, just out from the 22.
And a good settler for the Hawke's Bay side as well. They're a little bit nervy in the change rooms beforehand. This is a big game for many of the players. They do have 12 Super 14 guys with experience, so they should be used to atmospheres but they get the first put in, a steady scrum and look in position. Of course, both teams have left-right kicking options, but Matt Burquist doing the main kicking duties on the Hawke's Bay side.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
So 7 All Blacks in this Canterbury setup. Waldron takes it off the back. Burquist unleashes. Maitland waiting. He's only 10 out from his own 22. Has a quick look across at Colin Slade, and he'll chase the ball as the kick comes down and knocked back and into the arms of Isaac Ross and taken across the touchline. Good defence by Hawke's Bay.
And Todd, good indication there. You talked about the wind stronger. A nice kick from Maitland, but holding up nicely, and Canterbury going to get players around the high kick.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Hawke's Bay looking to play the territory game early, get down into Canterbury territory, camp themselves there, but obviously, conversely for Canterbury, as you say, playing into the wind, the opportunity to put the ball in the air and get chasers under it, as you see on that occasion. Put pressure on the kick.
Now, Taumalolo was injured in this, and he's over on the sideline at the moment, just coming back, as you can see, onto the field of play, as the line-out throw has been deflected by Ross. So one against the throw into the arms of Andrew Ellis, and Canterbury through Corey Flynn. Work it across to George Whitelock, of course playing in the number 7 jersey. Richie McCaw wearing 8.
8, out please.
And penalty against Waldron. And an opportunity for Dan Carter, no doubt, to get the scoring underway in this game.
One of the keys for me is when we're playing in such a good home crowd, 17,000 people here at McLean's Park in Napier. You need the crowd on your side right from the beginning, and that's doing the set phases, the basics. Well, if they'd taken that ball, Hawke's Bay had a nice drive, kick for field position. The crowd is very much part of it. But the man who's probably brought in an extra 2,000 or 3,000 seats, Dan Carter, will have a chance lining up a post.
So it went against Thomas Waldron for not rolling away. Not sure how you're supposed to, but nevertheless.
Important, Richard, that Hawke's Bay have very few opportunities to score, but they need to nail the basics well into this game. They cannot let these blokes get on a roll.
Oh, no doubt. Camo would have formed a big part of their pre-match preparations. They've been slow out of the blocks, and I've got to be critical of Hawke's Bay at all this season, Camo, is that they haven't put together in 80 minutes. They were slow starters last week. Certainly can't afford that against a side like Canterbury this week.
First kick from Dan Carter, and he pulled it away to the right, and that seems to have met with universal approval on the grounds.
Well, we made mention you got to get the crowd into it. That certainly did. That wasn't my intention, Nisbo.
So Burquist with the big kick. Now it sits up for Tim Bateman, playing tonight in the number 12 jersey. The last few games at centre. Another good high kick, and Burquist does really well, but the ball's fallen for Ross, and Isaac Ross showing the skills that he has as he goes back, and now Zach Guilford has to try and extract himself out of this mess. Only a couple of metres away from Hawke's Bay's goal line, but it should come on Hawke's Bay's side as Chris Eaton gets it back, and Israel Dagg punches it away downfield. Good kick. Very good clearance.
Talked a lot about the attacking ability of Zach Guilford over the last couple of weeks. He's been scoring a ton of tries, but defensively on this occasion, Matt Burquist unfortunately getting ripped. Isaac Ross, first game for the Red and Blacks this year. Zach Guilford shaping to pass, kept it himself, had the step and the strength to get out of it. That tremendous work defensively.
So Corey Flynn, 4.5 minutes gone in the game. Nicely taken down by McCaw. Now Ellis. Carter misses out one. It goes to Laulala. Taken in a nice tackle by Horrell. Ellis again works it across to Carter. Whitelock. Here's trouble. And a chance down the left wing side for Patterson. Beautifully worked by Canterbury. And James Patterson, with Sean Maitland coming right across to create the extra man. James Patterson opens the scoring.
Yeah, what a start. What a way to silence this crowd too. Textbook start from Canterbury. Beautiful tail line out ball from Patterson. That was a classic. Brought it down. Nice to take a look at the replay. Bring it down just in holding the defenders that moment. Carlo having to stop. And watch the clean out from number 8, Richie McCaw. Laulala gets over the gain line, the first key. And here comes Richie McCaw flying into it. Ball's distributed out. Nice hands from Whitelock. And this is just drawn past. Simple stuff. Practice on the training field pod. Executed out in a red hot atmosphere of a vital New Zealand Cup match.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Carmo, it came from the line out, but Maitland heading over onto the left-hand wing, and then from the quick phase ball, just created the overlap. Winger on the outside, and the Hawke's Bay cover defence just not there.
This time he's on target, Dan Carter. So the try scored by James Patterson, converted by Dan Carter, 7-0. Canterbury lead, 6 minutes gone.
Somehow that breakdown, Carlo, who was tied up, just has to get his hands on the ball. The open side playing a Hawke's Bay. Got to slow down the quick ruck ball of this red and black team.
Hawke's Bay changing the direction of the kickoff. And Guildford zoning in very quickly. Got the ball up a bit high here. But nicely done in the end. Back for Carter. Plenty of power in that kick. And that's a beauty from Dan Carter. Dag trying desperately to keep it in. That's the best he can do, is throw it to himself. And hope to get some distance in his kick as well.
Dan Carter making a lie of you there, pod with the win. That was one heck of a hoof downfield. Beautiful. Couldn't kick it out in the full, of course. Canterbury taking it back into play. Dan Carter knowing that. Just pure contact. Sailed for down near 50-odd metres.
Canterbury win it cleanly again. So Carter works it across to Laulala. Again, the space here for Patterson on the left wing side. Good tackle. Great tackle by Dag. But Canterbury still retain possession with Ellis. Works it off to Carter. Fires it out to Ross. Slips one tackle. And the ball is available again. So Carter moves it across to Bateman. Here's Brad Thorne lurking out on the wing. Good tackle by Guildford this time. Lowered the big man. Pouring through on this Hawke's Bay. But Ellis again. Flat pass to Crockett. Runs into Elliott. 10 out from the 22. Here's Slade. Ball loose. Back with Wyatt Crockett again. Hawke's Bay having to make a lot of tackles early in this game. Now it's been shoveled on as far as Bateman. Bateman going. Sends the pass to Flynn. It's forward. It's the only thing that saved Hawke's Bay, to be honest. There were two other players who could have scored that.
I've got to say, Grant, you've got to marvel at the start the Red and Blacks are having. They're just denying, hey, the Hawke's Bay team any ball and no territory whatsoever. They're really taking the crowd out of it and any potential threat early on for the Magpies to get into this game. They have been going along so nicely on a 5-game winning streak, and an instant like that, both Maitland and Patterson, the wingers in tandem on the left-hand wing. They're just getting numbers to the breakdown, turning over quick ball, and then just spreading it as wide as they can.
Touch, pause, engage!
Well, it's a pretty simple game plan at the moment, isn't it, fellas, from Canterbury? They go from set phase, they set up one ruck in the midfield, one midfield attack, and then they go straight away wide, left or right. And at the moment, it's happening so quick, the recycling of the phase ball, that it's causing all sorts of chaos in the Hawke's Bay defensive system.
Here we are, Frenchie. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Big Canterbury scrum that Waldrum off the back.
Roll 6. Straight off, and then roll.
Yeah, I think you'll find, Richard, the phase ball, the scrum line-out ball that Canterbury have had so far has been so pure. They've been able to get over the gain line, Keith, Laulala, etc. on the first phase, over the gain line. The quick ruck ball, that's how they've created the first try in the space and other movements. That's a good response.
Well, Hawke's Bay really needed that penalty, because when we showed you the territory,
It's 95% to 5, Grant.
That's right. Just in Canterbury territory. So a big line-out throw here for Hicka Elliott.
He's on the mark.
They simply need to get the ball in their hand. They haven't had it. 10.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Well, it's untidy. Good job done by Chris Eaton. Elliott steps in. Bergquist. Slade lining this up. And a lovely take.
Running obstruction.
But it's obstruction.
Number 9. Leave it. Go away.
And that's a good penalty, I think. Grant, Andy Ellis was the one pulled up, so he's running obstruction, running in front of the ball receiver, Colin Slade. Of course, like a shotgun, so there's no direct path.
Shot.
Absolutely
Shot.
altered his tack, Andy Ellis. Often get away with it, but not on this occasion.
Well, he got himself in trouble, Camo, when he stopped, didn't he? If he'd kept on moving Andy Ellis, I think he might have got away with it, but it's when he stopped and essentially acted as a shield, that's what got him into trouble.
I'll deal with that and I'll come over in a minute.
It's easier for the low numbers to play dumb there, pod and put your hand up and feel like you're getting someone's way. Maybe not little Andy Ellis.
Well, you just make sure you stay.
Had to adjust his line.
Well, this guy has been consistently the best goal kicker in the competition. Kicking at 86% this season. Quite remarkable, really. 129 points overall. He's only 7 behind Mike Delaney of Bay of Plenty, who's the leader at the moment. Big kick here because Hawke's Bay have had no ball, no territory, but they do have points.
And that may just settle them down. The next job now is to regather this kickoff. They failed to do that at the start of the match, which gave the territory in the upper hand straight away to Canterbury. This now becomes the biggest phase of the game.
Carter again gets it up high. Missed by Horrell altogether. Snapped up by Bergquist, who busted through a couple of tackles. Now Eaton off to Schumacher, and the captain gets a nice bounce.
Highlights there just how important the kickoff is. Wasn't taken initially. Bergquist gathered it up and they gained the 40 metres for good territory. If Bergquist hadn't done what he was, advantage goes to the red and blacks, like we said from the start. That's why.
Quickly thrown by Canterbury, taken down by Thorne. Now it's with Owen Franks, and they just move it back to the back of the maul into the arms of Corey Flynn. And Andy Ellis wants them to drive forward. There's not much resistance there. Hawke's Bay standing back, just allowing the metres to be taken.
He was cut through the middle.
Now George Naopu has done pretty well here. Came through the middle of the maul and very nearly brought it to an end. Ellis throws it, cleverly done by Carter. Oh, a lesser player wouldn't have pulled that pass in. Now it's Israel Dagg. Carter going back looking for this, swirling a wee bit, but nicely claimed by Maitland, and he takes the mark.
Always had a little bit too much on it, unfortunately. Easy diffused by Maitland. Boy, hasn't he been in good form of late. I know he's running on the end of a pretty good back line. He's still got to be there and have the class to finish it. It's George Nahupu driving through the ruck, and the interesting thing there, even he didn't know if he was legally meant to be there or not. Had the question asked the referee, Chris Pollock. I think he's been brought into the tight 5 role. Add some bulk.
Eaton tries to clear it off. It's been knocked down by Michael Patterson. Eaton now, Bergquist. Another test here for Maitland. Guildford bearing down on him, and he missed it altogether. Now, whether he got a hand on it or not is another thing. Yes, Hawke's Bay ball.
Richard, a lot of kicking by the Bears, worked on this occasion. I know Zach Hill was such a wonderful chase of the ball. Do you think they need a chance for arm as well?
Oh, no doubt about that, and actually I'm surprised. I thought they would have just thrown everything at Canterbury, but obviously looking to put some pressure on Canterbury, and here they go.
Here's Guildford up the middle. Trying to free it quickly. Referee says it's okay. Canterbury players, Ellis been nicely hooked back on the Hawke's Bay side. Well, it was a real dockyard brawl going on there. Both sides, I think, could be accused of using hands in there, but it was Andy Ellis who has copped the penalty again.
Well, that's brilliant stuff, Grant. It just shows how physical the breakdown area is going to be, how winning this contest is going to be, and how no one is going to give a quarter in this top of the table clash. There's George Whitelock in there leaning on with knees, although he was supported, so he's entitled to the turnover. Clint Newlands enforcing the counter rucking, and it might have been Andy Ellis, I think, in a position where he found himself offside because Clint Newlands went beyond the ball. Andy Ellis got himself back onside, had to go back and then towards it. But that sets a great scene.
So this one again is pretty much out in front for Matt Bergquist. So 2 penalty goals by Bergquist. 7 points to 6 after 17 minutes.
And the pleasing thing from the coaching box and the Magpies there, they didn't give up on a turnover ball.
Again, the kickoff by Carter, not claimed. Taken in by Flynn. So Canterbury back in possession with Ellis. Works it off to Whitelock. And the captain to the 10-metre line. Trying to turn him, I think they have.
7 red. Needed to release. 2. Where we go?
Ideal sideline.
Holding on.
That crowd that was silent for the first 5 minutes of this game, suddenly active and playing their part.
Oh, they certainly are. Great work at the breakdown there by the Hawke's Bay forwards. George Whitelock had the ball in the contact situation, and the Hawke's Bay boys manager just put him in a bad position, recycling the ball wise, and he just was tempted to hold on to it. Whitelock not wanting to let it go, and that's what Hawke's Bay need to do. Carmo, you mentioned the crowd. No spare seats in the house. And you're dead right, it's a big part of Hawke's Bay. If they're going to get up, they've got to keep this crowd involved.
Nice line-out work by Waldron. Didn't throw the pass to anyone. Then he copped a shoulder from Ross, I think it was. And down he went, but Hawke's Bay still in possession of the ball here. Now Upu drives it over the 22. Coming now for Eaton. Drop kick coming up. And he's got it.
Well, well, well. They didn't regather the kickoff, but they got the penalty out of it, which actually worked in their favour because they got good yards from the kickoff, from the penalty. Thomas Waldron pulled it in and went for the wraparound, Willie away, Tomalolo. They didn't use it. And he hit that so pure. That Bergquist, such a cool customer, speaking to him before the game.
Carter this time goes short. Taken down by Bergquist. And Horrell, in fact, it was, and that's a nice kick. Slade suddenly finds he's got players on him. McCaw got back to help out, and that's a very good play by Richie McCaw. And Hawke's Bay won't be able to throw quickly. And Richie McCaw in that number 8 role, getting back to help the fullback.
We can make mention of the kickoffs, and that's an area Hawke's Bay are going to be so much better at. Also got to remember it's Dan Carter doing the dropouts. And the accuracy and height Dan Carter gets, so precise.
Hawke's Bay lead. A clinical approach. The drop kick was there, they took it. Now Eaton, Bergquist doing a fair bit of kicking tonight, putting a bit of pressure on the Canterbury catchers. This time Patterson goes after it, can't get it. Maitland fires it quickly. Now Laulala, surrounded by Hawke's Bay players, but he's got the strength. Casey Laulala lays it back for McCaw. Patterson hands it on. Now Maitland has it go on the outside, back for Patterson. Just looking a little bit rattled here, Canterbury. And up goes the flag. Well, Hawke's Bay are starting to find their feet in the game. Took them 10 minutes at least to do so.
Casey Lalala, so often the go-to guy, the guy who's the saviour for the Canterbury back line. Scrappy ball, he can get them out of it because he's got the strength to run forward, and boy, he's going to be a big miss when he goes to Carter at the end of the year. But the energies with the Magpies, starting to throw more numbers at the breakdown.
Elliott goes deep, throws it straight to Whitelock though, and he lays it back nicely for Ellis. Now Carter, Bateman in a little bit of space across the face to Slade. Slade going, he's got support, but Bateman can't hang on. No advantage there.
Lost forward.
And a rare mistake made by Tim Bateman. Canterbury looked threatening.
Contrasting styles though we're seeing, aren't we? And Hawke's Bay got the wind behind them, happy to kick it and put it down there. Make the Red and Blacks run out. Canterbury more than happy to run it out and use the width. Backing up with numbers and support.
9.
Yeah, real issues for Hawke's Bay out wide, isn't there? Canterbury making easy yards when they move the ball. Love playing with width to Canterbury, and it's proving effective when they get ball in hand.
Stay square. You know what I mean? Stay square.
This is a very good Canterbury front row. All Black tight 5.
Go, Conky, here we are. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Much better Hawke's Bay scrum as Eaton sends it off to Bergquist.
12.
Repeats the tactic. Nicely claimed by Slade. And then the little kick and chase claimed they by Naupu. And off goes Big George Naupu. Tried to fire the pass back inside. Here's Jason Schumark. Almost to the 10-metre line.
Heads up.
And it's there for Eaton once more. Bergquist turns it back to Waldron in the clear. Thomas Waldron. Now he's got Horrell. And he gets it up to Guildford.
Well, he's a finisher. He knows where to be and he can sniff out the try, and that is such a well-taken, well-deserved, important try. The incision from Thomas Waldron. He had a little help from Hickie Elliott, but George Naupu brought into this role as a ball-carrying lock forward, bring more width and mobility to the Hawke's Bay tight forwards. Then the burst from their stalwart, really the skipper. But look at the burst coming up here. Help from Hickie Elliott, got in the way a little bit, pushed off Andy Ellis, and Thomas the Tank Engine. The Crusaders are lots of these players had to adjust his line. Zach Guildford, and far too much speed for Brad Thorne in the corner.
Oh, you did right, Carmo. He had a huge influence on that. Hickie Elliott just running on the inside shoulder of Thomas Waldron. Andy Ellis coming across in defence, not able to get to Waldron. And then Hawke's Bay, it's their real strength, the counter-attack.
Well, that's try number 13 for the season for Zach Guildford. He's clear of Jose Gear, who's got 10. Sean Maitland, who's in this game, who has 8. Now the toughest test tonight for Matt Bergquist. Off the post. So the unconverted try by Zach Guildford, and Hawke's Bay have scored 14 unanswered points.
I can't see the tactics changing. Grant, if they can regather this ball, it'll be a hoist high kick from Bergquist. Made the Canterbury guys catch it in the swirling breeze and put pressure on them.
Carter's kick. Again, Horrell goes up, but it's been grabbed by Carl Lowe. Lovely hands from Dag. Guildford puts the kick away. Maitland to bring it back. Now Sean Maitland. Well and truly nailed. And what great work from Carl Lowe. Outstanding number 7 play. And here is a chance for Horrell. Puts the kick in. And Hawke's Bay are doing everything right at the moment.
Well, these two teams are 1-2 in the New Zealand Cup log because they're also 1-2 in the breakdown turnover stats. Both sets of loose forwards outstanding in that department. Hickie Elliott was the one that made the initial tackle to stop the Canterbury movement. There was Carl Lowe, the 7, who then could get in there, stay on his feet and wrestle the ball.
Canterbury win the line out. 25 minutes gone, first half. It's turning out to be the thriller we expected it to be. Alice. A little bit of their own medicine, perhaps. No real pressure, though, on Israel Dagg. Slips out of one tackle. Feeds it off. And Hawke's Bay in possession. 5 metres inside their own territory, but ball, no.
You flop straight over the top. You need to be able to hold your weight. You're leaning all over those guys on the ground. Away we go.
Well, they got to give 2 or 3 away a game, and that's his first, George Whitelock. Now there to slow the ball down if they can. That was Carl Lowe's problem in the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game, which gave all the momentum to Canterbury early on.
Blimey, have a look at this.
Well, here you go, fellas. See that bloke on the motorbike? As soon as the referee blew his whistle, he started that up because he runs the tee out there, so he knew exactly what was happening. He shot out there, he started it up. Burke turned and looked at him, and he raced out with the tee.
Well, he might be the poor kid that's got to stand there for half an hour after training, gathering the balls back.
Kicking them back to him, you reckon?
Kicking them back. He knows exactly Berquist's range. And I thought this was a little bit out of it, to be fair.
Well, there is that breeze, as I said, coming out of the northwest, Camo, so it's blowing over Berquist's right shoulder. It's not of any significant strength, so he's going to get a little bit of assistance, not much.
Well, Francois Steyn can do it. Can Matt Berquist. 55 metres on the angle. Distance is good.
Well, when you're excited, pumped up like these Hawke's Bay Magpies are at the moment, bit of adrenaline pumping through the veins, I think that gave Matt Berquist another 4 or 5 metres. Might have surprised himself. He was watching that on the highlights reel. No question about that. Where's that man's smile? Don't count the red and blacks out, though. Playing into quite a strong breeze, as Richard Turner's pointed out.
Dan Carter getting plenty of kick-off practice. Now Horrell grabs this one. Throws a loose pass to, as Eaton has to tidy up. And Hawke's Bay regather with Elliott standing over the ball. Looking for Berquist. No, goes the other way. And Israel Dagg again gets good distance.
Well, I guess right there, Nismo, is a great example of why it's nice to have at least 2 kicking options in your back line. Matt Berquist is tied up, had a lot of pressure on him, then went the other way to this guy. Israel Dagg has been in such good form. Re-signed, committed to Hawke's Bay after committing to the Highlanders, so his mind's clear. He can attack the rest of the season.
No jumping that time from Hawke's Bay. Patterson easily, as Casey Laulala, he's thrown the ball away. Snapped up by Lowe. Referee waiting for an advantage here, and they may well get one too with Eaton. Waiting back for this one is Maitland. And the right winger has come right across to cover the left wing side. Now Dagg works it off to Zach Guilford, and that's not a bad kick either. Oh, it's a beauty.
Let's point out to very good refereeing to Chris Pollock. Knock on by Casey Laulala, and really one kick from Hawke's Bay, which is a good kick defused by Canterbury, with advantage over straight away. Enjoying the way the referees are doing that from non-penalised advantage, very short. You've got to be good enough to take advantage.
Line out one by Brad Thorne, not straight.
Well, that's right, Carmo, because in the game of rugby, the advantage is possession of the ball. So if you've got possession of the ball, then there's no need to carry on too long. That's your advantage. You've got possession of the ball, and it's up to you to do something with it.
I'll tell you what, Nisbet, we've got a little stop and play. A few of the wires and partners will be happy that the old Beds for Blood's coming to an end. We saw Corey Flynn there, with a good growth. Of course, raising awareness for the New Zealand Blood Foundation, leukemia. All of the players involved.
Yes, just on that subject, you can text Blood 515 to become a blood donor.
Good battle this one on this side of us. Wyatt Crockett for Canterbury up against Clint Newland. Hawke's Bay just looking for a solid base to work off here, and Newland's a big part of that.
Taken off the back by Waldrum, who of course plays his Super Rugby for the Crusaders. So he's well known to the Canterbury team. Elliott wants some reinforcements. Slips it off to Kennedy. And Ross Kennedy turns nicely. Carried on by Hawke's Bay. Getting very close to that touchline. Here's Elliott going again. Held up in the tackle of Patterson. 10 metres away from the goal line. Now Taumalolo, who can sniff a try out. Newland. Elliott gets the ball in his hands again for the third time in the movement. Here's Taumalolo ready to launch again. Now Eaton. Berquist to Horrell. Longest pass sits up for Guildford. Slips it back to Thompson. Nick Thompson playing out on this right wing side. Hasn't seen much ball all night. And there's some accidental offside play.
Hick Elliott knows how important this game is for his career. Taking 3 hookers away on the upcoming India tour. Involving that movement 3 times. But isn't it wonderful? Zach Guildford scoring so many tries, but involved so often in the game. Not prepared to sit down his left-hand wing and wait for the ball to come his way. Out looking for work. Hick Elliott was so smart there. Ran into Brad Thorne and popped a nice ball to Ross Kennedy, which got the movement going. It involves 3 further times. I mean, do they go for a young bull and a Hick Elliott or an old head to get them through this upcoming tour, and a Corey Flynn trying to bloke the Tasman hooker Quinton McDonald's having a good last month.
Now this might be Ross Kennedy, I think.
Yeah, he took a knock over the far side, Nisbo, when he broke off to the left of that maul. No concerns for him and for concerns in the Canterbury camp down in the bottom part of your screen, and that's Wyatt Crockett getting attended to.
Well, he's a big man, Ross Kennedy, and certainly without Bryn Evans, they're down on big men.
He's found a good home here too in the Magpies, Ross Kennedy. He's steadied up their line out. Doing a good job. Peter Russell week in, week out. He's a very good tradesman, this bloke. Played in a few franchises, got a lot of experience.
Still trying to get Crockett sorted out too, so he might be of greater concern than Kennedy.
Enjoy watching blokes like Ross Kennedy, though, plying their trade on a weekly basis. Pod, they epitomise everything that's good about the game of rugby union.
See him here, just heads off the sides, gets a knock on the hip, bang, there. And he was slow to get up from that. It was Ross Kennedy. Seems to have shrugged it off. Back into the engine room. Time to push in the scrum.
I'm sorry, my fault.
You want to see stars, Pod, that's what I'd be saying. Get in there and push. Push you can till you see stars. So Clint Newlands will be saying.
I think this might be the first Canterbury scrum of the game.
Crouch.
So let's see whether Hawke's Bay can apply some pressure.
Engage.
Oh yes, I think they can. Front row came up though.
Let's walk away.
But the Hawke's Bay front row will be fairly encouraged, even though they stood up, which of course is illegal.
Yeah, it's a different mindset up there. I don't think they'll mind giving away a penalty if they think they've got one over their mates.
That's right.
Yeah, Sona Taumalolo there. He was the man pinged. In and up was the call from referee Pollock. And certainly one of those on its own is bad enough. Taumalolo pinged for both of them.
So 7 remaining in the first half.
Play on.
Again, there's no jump from Hawke's Bay as Thorne has taken the tackle of Lowe. Ellis now for Carter. Works it across for Laulala. Good tackle by Horrell, who's quickly in on the ball. Plenty of Hawke's Bay players there too. They might have done enough to win this. Yes, they have. Canterbury, with some of their smaller numbers, lurking out on the back line, have paid the price.
And Pod, the biggest difference for me in the Hawke's Bay over the last 20 minutes is their line speed defensively. We had a line out on the 10-metre line, 3 phases for Canterbury, and they didn't at any time get over the gain line. Carl Lowe made the initial tackle in the midfield backs from Hawke's Bay. They've really started to run up and put the pressure. Numbers at the breakdown. And that's changed the whole game for them.
Yeah, certainly, and it doesn't seem that long ago either, guys, that we were talking about the need for Hawke's Bay to get their hands on the ball. Well, now it's late in the first half, but it's really a necessity for Canterbury. They don't seem to have had the ball for a long period of late in this first half.
Well, incredible swing in both territory and possession.
34 minutes and it's just flying past as they do big games like this. A lot of anticipation to build up.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Now Waldrum, claimed by Whitelock.
Roll out, Reed.
Ball there for Eaton. Scragged to the ground by Thorne. Might have fallen the wrong way here, and Canterbury have it through Franks. Slips out of the Newland tackle. And ball won by Hawke's Bay.
Yeah, no, Opu at the breakdown.
Boy, it's competitive in there. Some outstanding loose forwards on display here tonight.
4, out you go.
Not the least of which
Out you go.
is Carl Lowe.
2, no.
Now there it is for Hawke's Bay. Good drive by Michael Johnson. And didn't release it.
Just got isolated. That was the problem there. A lot of the Hawke's Bay forwards were on their feet, lying on the ground, off their feet, and that was a problem. Michael Johnson going isolated. Great thing about this, it is so willing. Neither team, neither set of forward pack is giving anyone easy yards, easy advantage. Working so hard.
Yeah, just a lack of communication there. As you saw from that breakdown, Carmo Johnson went, and Naupu was the only other Hawke's Bay forward on his feet. He tried the squeeze play, but it just took too long. Canterbury defence working nicely on that occasion.
Big 3 set, thanks.
Hawke's Bay haven't been competing in too many Canterbury line-out throws. Won easily by Patterson. Away it goes to Carter. He's been pretty quiet up till now. Slipped a beautiful pass to Maitland. And here's a try for Richie McCaw. Beautifully worked by the Canterbury side. And as I said, it was Carter who'd been a bit quiet, but he got into a half gap. And Richie McCaw scores the try.
Two of the world's best players without question involved in the movements. Finishing off with a wonderful Canterbury try. Once again, they're using Patterson at the back of the line, uncontested, bringing it down, Ellis, and then the first time in the match, Dan Carter's decided to have a go. That was a marginally flat ball. That wasn't. And the All Black skipper backing up in support, running a beautiful line, not a D, a straight line to where the ball is, and carting over for a beautiful, well-executed try.
Well, there's the benefit of having world-class players in your side, isn't it, Carmo? Haven't had much of the play for about 25 minutes, Canterbury. When they finally get into Hawke's Bay territory, their two star players really step up to the plate, but Hawke's Bay got themselves into trouble. They went one out defensively, and Carter got on the outside of his defender, and McCaw in support, having a big game, Richie McCaw.
He's got that ability, hasn't he, Dan Carter, to sense when an opportunity is on. More often than not, when he has that go, it makes the opposition pay.
Now I think we might have Matt Egan on, Richard.
Yeah, Matt, absolutely. Matt Egan, jersey 19. Nisbo, Ross Kennedy, no good.
Ross Kennedy, no good, okay. So a couple of minutes out from half-time. Ellis back for Carter. Another probing kick, which is lined up by Waldrum. Off to Dagg.
Wide out!
And the chasers are after it. It's gone a bit too far, though, and easily taken by Carter. Guildford's got this covered.
Wide out! 7,
Now
out!
Colin Slade can't mark this. Gets his pass off to Maitland. And Matt Egan makes an early impact.
Well, he was sitting there for the last 38 minutes watching his team initially getting driven over, then his team get back into it, and he'll be pretty pumped up himself sitting on the sideline. It's a class. Dan Carter, strength as well, ability. Maitland's been so good.
Play on.
And so's Isaac Ross. Having a great game, Isaac Ross, doing everything he asked. Stealing line-out ball, winning line-out ball, and kickoffs.
Now Zach Guilford, who's kicked pretty well tonight. An unusual role for him. Nicely claimed by Dan Carter. As we count down towards half-time, and if Canterbury aren't leading at half-time, it'll be the first time since 2007 against Auckland that they haven't been leading at half-time in an Air New Zealand Cup game.
It shows how dominant they have been in this competition over the years, isn't it? Getting back to Isaac Ross, this is a big occasion for him. Allegedly been given some bad news in the coming weeks. He's out there and doing what he has to do. Working hard.
You guys actually need to come this way, please.
And whatever news he's been given, he's just got to go out there, wear it on the chin.
Yes, with that in mind, Carmo, don't forget the All Black announcement live on the Rugby Channel on Sunday morning. As the halftime siren sounds, nicely taken by Egan. Now Eaton, pretty rough sort of a pass. Now Bergquist gets it, but he also gets a heap of Canterbury players at the same time. It's there for Chris Eaton. Fires it back to Schumacher, and Jason Schumacher is happy, I think, to see this sail into touch, even though it's on the full. It doesn't matter because they're heading to the dressing room, and Hawke's Bay do have the lead at half-time, even though Canterbury have scored 2 tries. Hawke's Bay 17, Canterbury 14.
Well, it's a game that promised so much leading into it. It's 1v2 on the log, and it's delivered. It started off a bit of a benefit to Canterbury early on, but once the Hawke's Bay side settled down, got the crowd of 17,000 on their feet and behind them in this match, they started doing the basics and what they're doing very well, playing for field position, and they've finished off the better of these two sides. Going, I think, Nisbo into the half-time break with a deserved lead, but these guys here got experience on their side. Do not write them off.
So it's 1 versus 2 on the Air New Zealand Cup table, and at the moment it's number 2, Hawke's Bay, leading by 17 to 14. Half-time break, McLean Park in Napier. Canterbury started with a hiss and a roar, but Hawke's Bay have climbed back and lead at the break by 17 to 14. Zach Guilford scored his 13th try of the season. Canterbury have scored a couple. 17 to 14 as we have a look at the highlights, and most of them came from Canterbury in the opening stages of the game. And just good ball movement here. Draw and pass. Sean Maitland got across from the right wing and allowed James Patterson, the left winger, to go in and score the opening try of the match. That was converted by Dan Carter. And now the drop kick after 2 earlier penalties. This gave Hawke's Bay the lead. Matt Bergquist making it 9 points to 7. And then the try. Guilford makes the kick. Now Upu recovers and sets in motion a move as Schumacher carries it on. And then there's a good run here from Thomas Waldron. He just can't link up with anybody, so he goes to ground. But then excellent work here by Andrew Horrell, and he feeds it off to Guilford, and there is the Guilford try. So the lead was extended, and then this massive penalty goal by Matt Bergquist, 55 metres, and just before half-time, Canterbury come back. Their class players standing up here. Carter, half break, slips it to Maitland, and Richie McCaw in the number 8 jersey tonight scores the try. It was converted, 17 points to 14 at half-time, and it looks cool, calm and collected there in the Hawke's Bay room.
You take a look at the stats, Nisbo. There's 2 big areas I think are concerned, which is very un-Canterbury-like, where Hawke's Bay are dominating in this game. The first one is turnovers conceded. 12 turnovers conceded by Canterbury. That's 12 extra opportunity Hawke's Bay have had in this half to get territory, which they've clawed their way back into and leading in that department and just relieve some pressure. And the other area concern, we talked about 1 and 2 on the breakdown turnover stats in the Air New Zealand Cup, these 2 teams. Well, Hawke's Bay are leading that stat 2-1. Here, 4 turnovers to 2. There's an area where they can slow the ball down, with Carlo and then Hickory Elliott also playing a prominent role in that department. They are leading a huge step for me to break down turnovers.
Well, it's a second half to look forward to. The players will be back shortly, so will we. 17-14. Beautiful night for rugby at McLean Park in Napier. Capacity crowd in attendance, 17,000. Now let's hear from Hawke's Bay's coach Peter Russell. He's with Pod Turner.
Well, Peter Russell, slow start, but seemed to have got rid of the nerves and now playing with a bit of confidence.
Yeah, I think the jitters are gone, and we're still letting in those soft tries. I.e. the one just before half time, which was poor. We wanted to consolidate before half time and keep that lead going into that win.
So what was the message at halftime? I think you were dominant at the breakdowns, getting some good turnovers as well.
Yeah, we just want to make the Canterbury team work at the breakdown, which we're doing, and we've just got to continue that on. We've got to speed our line out up assembly especially. We've got a good scrum going and good backline attack, and our kick chase is working well as well.
And got the crowd in the game, mate. Good luck with the second half.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Thoughts there of Peter Russell, coach of Hawke's Bay, and we're ready to roll. Second half. Referee Chris Pollock signals time on as Bergquist gets the second half underway, and the kickoff is claimed by Patterson, Michael Patterson for Canterbury. Now Dan Carter from inside his 22. Waiting for this in good position is Israel Dagg. Puts the little kick in this time, but it's been easily claimed by Ellis, and Ellis finds himself in a bit of space, drops the ball onto the ground, and it's gone into touch, and it will be Hawke's Bay ball.
Important in the early minutes of the second half that both teams get up to speed very quickly. It was such a frantic first 40 minutes and so physical of rugby union. And the first team that can get up to that mark will be the one that dominates the opening spell.
Hickory Elliott taken down, not straight. No Ross Kennedy, of course, so a little bit of height has gone from the Hawke's Bay line out.
Enjoying this.
And errors like that, Pod, just take the momentum, the little pressure, just relieved a bit from the red and blacks. They now have the scrum feed, and Canterbury, Hawke's Bay can ill afford to do those errors.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a quick chat to the boys as they came out from Canterbury, and they're all about getting their hands on the ball and putting the pressure on Hawke's Bay, because they feel that in that first half Hawke's Bay put all the pressure on them, and they want to turn the tables in that respect.
So a chance to look at the battle in the second half between Sona Tamalolo and Owen Franks.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Get on, Stephen.
Pretty good solid Canterbury scrum. Here's Carter. Goes wide. Nice break here by Bateman. Finding a bit of space. Pass has been knocked down. It's play on. Knocked down by a Hawke's Bay player. Recovered by Casey Laulala. Now the pass goes off to Wyatt Crockett. There's Hawke's Bay swarming on him.
Still playing advantage.
Handed away. It's playing advantage here. Bateman again.
Back here. Offside in the middle.
And it's offside play against Hawke's Bay, and it's right out in front.
Midfield.
So Canterbury, I'm sure, will take the 3 points here.
Yeah, a gift on offer, I think, Nisbo, but unfortunately I'll go back to the point I made before. Who gets up to the speed of the game earlier on? Hawke's Bay, the mistake there, the line speed was going across, not up. That's allowed Bateman and Carter and all the back line for Canterbury just to drift through. Zach Guilford doing great work getting involved. What made them so good in the last 30 minutes of the first half was the aggressive line speed going up, shutting them down behind the gain line. That occasion is up and across, too many gaps. And that's bread and butter. That's a gift.
That is a gift, and it brings the scores level at 17 all, and we're just 3 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, Carmo, but at the end of the day, your defensive system's only as good as the one-on-one tackles that need to be made. And that occasion, Hawke's Bay defence let down by a player slipping off a tackle and just giving the Canterbury boys the momentum. And Peter Russell talked about the need to stop them scoring soft tries, so he wouldn't be happy with Hawke's Bay's start.
Bergquist Up into the breeze, holding up. Trying to tip it back was Egan.
First one was from White.
But it was knocked on by Matt Egan.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess we talk about soft tries, soft runs as well. We also need to reinforce the class. And we've got like Dan Carter, who's making all of those breaks. He led to the Richard McCall's so-called soft try in the first half and created the space and gaps then. The man is, the time he had away in France, he's a class above. It's great to see him out there and doing it for the right reasons. He's out there playing footy because he loves to play footy.
Touch.
Well, it'll be Canterbury's last chance to use a lot of these players this season. But there is depth in the squad.
We talked about the crowd though, we've got 10 All Blacks on display for Canterbury. I'm sure even though a lot of people here to support the Magpies also want to see the All Blacks in action.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. It's just down.
Well, Peter Russell was pretty impressed with Hawke's Bay's scrum when he spoke to us at half-time.
Possibly.
He said he had a good scrum going.
Kid 8 to take it quicker then.
I'll tell you what, they're getting a work over at the moment though, that good scrum. Nisbo, Owen Franks really giving it to Sona Taumalolo at the moment. All over him at hit time, and then the squeeze comes on, the pressure goes on Taumalolo.
Engage.
Tends to turn into bail out. Have a look here.
Yeah, she's powerful, all right. Carter testing here for Dag. Now Lala flying up and got him too. Well taken by Dag. And Hawke's Bay getting a lot of players back behind the ball.
8, leave it.
A couple of props there. Oh dear. And here's Thomas Waldron right up the centre. Now needs to find some support. Fired it away.
No, it's
And it was general play. So here comes Canterbury. Here's Maitland putting the foot down. Slips the pass away to Patterson. Chasing across is Guildford. Good tackle.
2, no! Yep, good.
Hawke's Bay good enough. Enough players at the ball to walk over the top of it. And now here's Eaton. Clears it off to Horrell. 10-metre line in Hawke's Bay territory. Again, loose ball. Oh, beautiful hands from McCaw. And into the arms of Wyatt Crockett. Both sides guilty of turning the ball over. Now the pass goes.
Play on, off the foot.
And here's Eaton. And he's hacked it away downfield. And I think the players will be happy to go to a line-out. That was scare-em stuff.
It's frantic, and you're seeing a lot of turnovers at the ruck ball, but it also doesn't do justice to the physicality that's happening at the ruck ball. This went a bit in Thomas Waldron's way, but a favour. All the Canterbury guys went for the ball, didn't go for the man who was the tank engine, got the momentum going. You're seeing a lot of turnovers that break down. But Todd, it's so willing out there, you know. Let's not criticise the errors. Let's applaud the physicality.
Go, yeah. And whilst nothing came of that, it was good, it was exciting. Horrell on the outside of Thomas Waldron, that was an opportunity lost, and then Patterson down the right-hand touchline. It's all go.
Free jump for Isaac Ross. Nice hands by Bateman.
12!
Took an awkward pass there. Back it comes again for Ellis. Now Carter. That's the 10-metre line in Hawke's Bay territory. Ellis again. In pass goes left behind by McCaw. And so they're waiting to see. In fact, it was Patterson. Waiting to see if there's any advantage here. Horrell is going to kick. And Thompson is flying here. Colin Slade. And they've got him. Now Maitland. Slips the pass. It's loose. Ellis. Got out of a tackle. Gave it away to Carter. The game really has opened up here. And Hawke's Bay looking to turn it over. They won't do it this time though. Ellis slips the pass to Bateman, who's dropped one cold again. Now it's with Eaton. Dag, he's got no one home. Good enough though to get away from it. Crowd not happy about that. And I think they might have a point actually.
There we go.
No call made though. So here's Andrew Horrell inside his 22, and he can put this into touch on the full. Well, Israel Dag put a kick in it and then was tackled.
And Michael Patterson was a tackler, and I might lean on Michael Patterson's side here in this way. have a better look on the replay if we get a chance to see it. A lot of mismatches. Because the game's played at such a frantic pace, we're seeing a lot of turnovers at the breakdown. That's leading to mismatches. Dag saw that, had the skill to do it. Unfortunately, just not given the opportunity to finish it off.
Might have a look at that in a moment. Carmo, 9 minutes gone, second half. Taken down by Brad Thorne. George Naupu, not quite sure whether he's come through the middle or not. Asking the referee as it's taken up by Crockett. Now Ellis to Ross. Thunders over the halfway line.
No, 7, no, 7. No, let's go 4.
He's back in position. Now Dan Carter. Just hanging on to it no more was Richie McCaw. Ellis. Nice move by Dan Carter. 10-metre line, Hawke's Bay territory. They might have turned this over. Oh no.
On your feet first.
Dan Carter a lot more prominent in the opening 9 minutes of the second half. It's the 4th run he's had so far, taking it to the line.
Now let's go back here, come on, have a look at this. Israel Dag puts the kick in.
Well, I would say myself that he's committed to it and tried to pull out. And that's just part of the game of rugby union. Very hard for a big man like Patterson to move away from that situation.
Right, Canterbury didn't take the kick at goal. Referee has signalled already a penalty advantage here for Canterbury. Ellis running onto it was Slade. Now it's been snapped up by Flynn. Throws a loose pass. And back for the penalty. And you just get the feeling here the crowd don't agree.
You think penalty advantage, so that's fair enough. It can go on a little bit longer, give Canterbury the opportunity to take full use of the advantage. They didn't have any of that, Chades. I've got to say, even though the penalty was given away, the decision by Peter Russell to put George Naupu, normally a 6'8", in that lock position, more physicality at the breakdown, getting more numbers to the breakdown, has been a real advantage for Hawke's Bay. He's having a whale of a game.
You'll see it here at the cross kick from Canterbury, guys. And watch the Hawke's Bay defenders, they're keen. And it's Zach Guilford that comes in from the side. There on that occasion, didn't come from the back. Chris Pollock says that's no good, you can't do that. And just killing Canterbury's momentum, and rightly penalty.
So Carl Lowe might just be a blood bin here for Carl Lowe. Peter Russell looks up from on high, and what he sees is Dan Carter lining up this penalty attempt. Lovely kick. So Canterbury back in front. 2 Carter penalties early in the second half, and it's 20 points to 17.
Yeah, you're right, Nisbo. Adam Brady, jersey 18, blood bin replacement for Carl Lowe.
He can block the noise out, can't he, Dan Carter? I was going to comment in the first half how this big crowd goes silent when Matt Berquist lines up for post. Well, they're playing their part when Dan Carter has a go. Richard McCaw enjoying the variation of playing in the 8 jersey tonight.
Berquist. Patterson lines it up. Nobody looked comfortable under that. And Tamalolo for Hawke's Bay. Now Eaton for Horrell. Drops the little kick in. Here come the speedsters. Oh dear. That's ridiculous.
That's a penalty. That's a brain explosion. And I think the crowd might be able to enjoy that.
I think he realised the moment he did it, Sean Maitland, that he's playing the wrong game.
Oh no, he's saying. And 17,000 people who are yelling out, watch out, you've got Hickarelli breathing down your neck. Well, they're going to enjoy Chris Pollock having the penalty. And Matt Berquist, as you made mention the first half, most consistent goal kicker in this competition. And just chatting with him before the game, he seems so relaxed. Such a big game. Was it 86% I think he went to this match with. Just taking a moment to get a ball out there. Got the kicking tee to line it up to bring it back to 20 all.
Well, I think that was just a reflection of the tension out in the middle, guys. Sean Maitland knew he was under pressure and just had to clean it up. But when you're under pressure and it's a tense situation, sometimes the old bodies and mind don't quite connect.
Well, that's great, Pod. That's where we test players, put them in these situations, see if they're good enough, see how they react. And that's what you do all your training for. They've got themselves into this situation. All the months preparation, hard work for moments like this, games like this.
Three penalty goals already tonight, plus a drop kick.
I'm no goal-kicking expert, but he gives it a good old nudge, doesn't he? Maybe not as smooth a rhythm as Dan Carter, but he goes in there, very, very effective.
Well, he's one of those few goal kickers that can kick left to right and right to left. You'll notice in the first half he was bringing them right to left. That was left to right. So he has beautiful control, Matt Berquist. So it's 20 all now. And we've had 15 minutes in the second half. Waldron calls. And away he goes. He got his pass off to Taumalolo. Here comes Hawke's Bay again. Quick clearance. Off to Horrell. Goes wide to Dag. Gets the call from Guildford. Guildford running back into the heavy traffic.
Release one!
It's there again for Eaton. Into the arms of the new man, Brady. Adam Brady out there in number 18. Now Taumalolo. Gets a nice pass off to Elliott. Still on the 10-metre line. Hawke's Bay. Off to Egan.
Reed! Yeah, it's fine.
Chris Eaton waiting patiently.
Hey, he was okay.
Well, Todd, for me, this is a big moment in the game. 20-odd minutes to go. The Hawke's Bay team, and hopefully the message coming down from the box, they've got to start believing now. They've got to start believing that they can match it with the Canterbury side all the way through in every department of the field out there. Not hope to win this match. They've got to believe they can win it.
Well, I think after this, as I said, the initial nerves went. I think there's a fair amount of self-belief in there. But what they have to do also, Karma, is they need to be on their game for the whole 80 minutes. One slip and this Canterbury team will punish you. And great work at the breakdown on that occasion. Wyatt Crockett initially, and then Michael Patterson to prevent Hawke's Bay recycling the ball.
Pause, engage!
Off the back goes Waldron. He's had a storming game. Nice pass. Away to Brady. Canterbury in there, and they had rights to the ball.
Hey! No. Over there. Holding on.
He just got slightly isolated, Adam Brady.
Tell you what, Andy Ellis is playing like his life depends on it as well. Maybe he senses an opportunity to get back in black. His All Black career is not a done deal. He's not the most physical halfback around, but he drives this team around, gets himself involved. There he is once more. The strength and the low body position to get over there, helped by Patterson. He's doing a lot of talking out there, is young Andy Ellis.
Canterbury win the line out. Now Carter slips the pass to Laulala. He's been well covered tonight by the Hawke's Bay midfield. Now here's Whitelock. Just out from the 22, Ellis feeds it on to Thorne. Good run. And the ball left behind and knocked on. It was a loose pass.
Yes, he didn't need to do that whatsoever. Thorne was just thinking they're getting some momentum going here at Canterbury. They haven't been able to do this, get over the gain line from the line out. 3 phases and they're well over it. Brad Thorne getting himself involved. We know how much energy he brings to any team he's playing for. Just didn't have to do that. But then, like they say, if it's hit the pass and gone to hand, we've been talking what a beautiful offload it was. So that's the fine line these blokes are walking.
Yeah, it was Richie McCaw that couldn't get it to hand, but I've watched him for the last 10 minutes, Kama, and his work rate is phenomenal defensively. He's around the track, he's making tackles, he's cleaning out. On that occasion, the phase before that, he was the first one to clean out. He got to his feet, and then he was there in support of Thorne, although he couldn't get the ball to hand. But Richie McCaw is having a huge game in terms of his work rate.
Here, he's a class act, really is. It's great to have a bloke like that as skipper of your national side.
Pause, engage.
Big scrum, Canterbury, really big scrum. Waldrum did well though, snapped it up. And Hawke's Bay through Chris Eaton, back to Bergquist, and Thorne goes charging at him. Oh, great work again by McCaw. Claimed the ball, he wanted it, and he got it. So Canterbury in possession, just out from the 22. Now Carter shifts it across to Slade, and intercept almost. Oh, dear me. Zach Guilford. Anyway, oh, the referee's gone down.
What a thump. It was Sean Maitland.
Oh, dear.
It was Sean Maitland. Might have got the old jaw.
Oh, that would have hurt.
Well, I shouldn't smile in his boat, and I shouldn't laugh. He's having a great game, Chris Pollock. He's a very good referee, but it's great to see them involved. Keep your eyes on the action, son. Keep your eyes on the action.
Well, it wasn't just his eyes, he got hands on that occasion, did Pollock.
Here we go.
As you say, Kama, give him credit. Have a look, that was almost Guildford down the other end of the field. It comes back quickly, look at Pollock at the middle, and Maitland, boom, ouch. But give him his dues, like all good. Usually we see the player spring to feet, he's shrugged it off as Chris Pollock got to his feet. He's taken a big knock, but give him his dues, he's on his feet and back into his job.
Yeah, we better get one for the crowd goes wild, because that's going on. Smashed him, bro.
Well, it'll be on reunion on Tuesday night, guarantee it. It's not the last you've seen of it.
Crouch. Touch.
19 minutes remaining.
Sean Maitland didn't come off that good either. Got a bit of claret around the jaw.
Oh, this game's had pretty much everything. I think also, Pod, we've got Carl Lowe back.
Just go with what we got.
Here we are, this one, Molly.
Yep, you did right. Sorry, Nisbo. Just having a look. Back out of the blood bin.
Pause, engage.
A bit of a bang to the nose did Carl Lowe, but back into his work as well.
So there's Canterbury with Ellis. Now Carter. Maitland goes wide forward. Pass, I think. Gee whiz. They got away with that one, Canterbury.
14 on his feet. Hold him.
Carlo straight back into the action too. Remember, there was a scrum the near side, so he had to run 50 metres across. Carlo, and that's exactly what he did, get himself into this breakdown. Shoe mark there. Carlo, hands on the ball, turnover. So he's re-energised himself after his 10 minutes sitting on the sideline, getting his nose taped up. And showing the benefit, fresh legs back out there.
Tell you half the league though.
18 minutes left at McLean Park. They're in a bit of a frenzy, the crowd here. Elliott throws. Eaton clears it off to Bergquist. Now Horrell looking to step his way through.
Read it.
Just in Hawke's Bay territory now. Waldrum
Away.
lays it back nicely. Eaton works it across for Big George Naupu.
Hands up.
There it is again for Eaton. Now a test for Slade. Horrell getting up to challenge.
Play on.
falls nicely for Carter. Now it's with Patterson, who scored the opening try of the game. And Canterbury working the blind side. Here's Carter in a bit of space. Chased across. And a good tackle, but Ellis is on his way. Not quite there yet. Mad scramble on for the ball now. And Hawke's Bay have got the numbers. Eaton's going to try and get it back as far as Zach Guilford. Keeps it nice and low. Sits up for Maitland. Away to Tim Bateman. Michael Patterson lurking out here on the wing. Bateman. Oh, big tackle. That's outstanding, Hawke's Bay. That is outstanding.
Well, you cannot coach desperation like that. Firstly, on the far left-hand corner, Dan Carter, a class act, the strength, the offload. Andy Ellis tackled metres from the line, and then the desperation from the Hawke's Bay guys to get back. Here it is, the strength, brushed off Patterson. Andy Ellis.
Watch Carl Lowe here. This is phenomenal. Makes the tackle, gets to his feet, secures the turnover.
Well, that is something, Pod. Nobody, not Pete Russell, nobody can teach desperation like that. The want, the desire to get back when the chips are down, and then it finished off here. Israel Dagg, I think it was, or was it Zach Guilford making the tackle here, and Patterson snuffing it out once again. Boy, these guys are believing. These guys got some energy, Hawke's Bay. They're playing for each other, playing for themselves probably more so. But that shows so much team unity. They've obviously trained so hard together in the off-season, done a lot of work to build up this bond.
Well, big blow here for Hawke's Bay, because Carl Lowe, I think he's gone full-time this time. Tell you what, he deserves a medal for that last play alone, guys.
Yes, he does. He really has had an outstanding game, Carl Lowe. And I think it's around that nose area the problem. Well, clearly it is.
Yes, when the old eyes start watering, Nisbo, it's not ever a good sign. Playing with a broken nose, never a good sign when the opposition know you got a broken nose either.
No. So 15 remaining.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Canterbury again apply the pressure, but Waldron again comes out of it well. Eaton for Bergquist, and he hooks it away into touch. Oh yes, it went back. Yeah, it was carried back.
No question.
Yep. So
scrum domination starting to go Canterbury's favour. Heard Peter Russell saying he's happy with the set phase initially in the first half. Thomas Waldron having to do so much hard work on their own ball. It's never been a steady platform.
good throw by Corey Flynn as
keep it up.
Brad Thorne takes it down. And Canterbury will try and work their way through the middle.
Forward, go!
Making good ground here.
He's okay.
Hawke's Bay desperately trying to isolate the player.
Release 4.
Pretty good clean out here by Hawke's Bay. They managed to get it though. Not quite. Still 15 metres away from the line.
3.
Backs waiting patiently. Now away goes Flynn. Makes some ground. And Chris Pollock's had enough of that, and it'll be a scrum.
Just sensed there if Canterbury could have given the ball to Dan Carter in those situations, that's when he can ignite. There's quite a big gap just outside Bergquist.
Yeah, sure.
I thought that's where he was going to go.
Come off.
These are the times, 30 minutes to go, all locked up. Canterbury looking for Richie McCaw to do something special. Dan Carter to step up and do something special like he did in the closing minutes of the first half. 10 All Blacks on the Canterbury side. You just feel this is when they're really going to stick their hands up and say this is why we are the best players in the country. There's so much belief in the Hawke's Bay side, led excellently by Jason Schumacher. Experience, lead from the front type skipper.
Yeah, a lot of experience in that Canterbury side, Carmo, and it's starting to come to the fore now. Still cool heads in the Canterbury side, and a great little phase of play there, 6 or 7 phases where they just picked and went, just trying to take the sting out of the Hawke's Bay tail because it's been fairly frantic. And when we get to the second 20 of the second half, it's Canterbury know exactly what they need to do. As we have a look at Thomas Waldron, just say Super Rugby, he plays for the Crusaders, but he's loving his time in the Hawke's Bay, and the Hawke's Bay are loving him, making huge yards today. Just couldn't get the offload on that occasion, but enjoying playing against his Super 14 provinces, Thomas Waldron.
Well, Todd Blackadder and Mark Hammett are in the crowd tonight. No doubt making some judgments,
Crouch.
particularly on the men in red and black.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
But they'll be pleased with the form of Thomas Waldron, that is for sure. Now Canterbury with Ellis. Carter. Almost to the line, stretching, and referee says yes. Well, Dan Carter took them on himself, and I think you'll find it'll be the number 10 who'll come up with the ball. It is.
In moments like this, good players step up, the cream rises to the top, and that man there is pure class. If not the best player in the world, one of the best players in the world, and he just sensed the opportunity. It was all down to the head of the scrum, a dominant Canterbury scrum. Gave Canterbury the front foot ball, Dan Carter running onto it, beautiful pass on Andy Ellis, and then the strength to step and to weave over. Too high, desperation, momentum got on their pod.
Yeah, it's almost like when you're playing in the backyard and you've got a bloke that's so much better than everyone else, he just goes, give me the ball. And Carter's got the ball, and he's done his thing. He's got a little bit of support from his mates, and he's got over the line.
It's great to see the class players like that, Dan Carter playing in this grade of rugby, stepping up when it counts, putting his team up 27-20.
Scored all of Canterbury's points in the second half, and as Pod said, he needed some help from his mates because he landed about a metre short, but when the momentum was provided from behind, over he went, try scored. Now Hawke's Bay recovered the ball from the kickoff as Eaton slips it to Egan. Hawke's Bay haven't really looked like scoring a try in the second half. Bergquist works it out to Jason Schumacher. Chased and taken by Carter. He's still holding the ball though, Schumacher. But look at the red and black jerseys get there and try and drive over the top. Now Eaton works it off to Waldron. Drops the ball onto the boot. Claimed by Maitland. Nice pop-up pass for Slade. Now Ellis has it. He gets monstered by Waldron. Ball is there for Slade to clear away. For Laulala, who's not a noted kicker of the ball, but he's made good contact here. Nicely done by Israel Dagg. Brings the ball back. Carter's got back though. Just anticipated it beautifully. And now it's Michael Johnson. Now this could keep going.
Got a mark.
And it's done pretty well. Now Michael Johnson's not a noted kicker of the ball either, but he's going to get his moment in the sun here. Not bad.
I think for a moment there, and as they forgot who kicked it, Dan Carter kicked it. You know, it was always going to stop. Things just seem to happen for blokes like him. Now, Pod, I can just sense for the next 10 minutes of this game, this is where most of the action is going to be played. The experience we talked about of Canterbury defending leads, 27 points up at the moment. This is whether we try and just to plug the corners.
Taken down by Thorne. Clint Newland gets left behind. Brad Thorne pretty much running the show here.
No, you've slipped.
Trapped in the back by McCaw.
Advantage.
And that's offside play. Ball pops back for Ellis. He takes the drop kick. And
Number 4 entry.
Unsuccessful, and George Naupu has been pinged for offside play.
Yeah, he got caught in that occasion, George Naupu, but he's been very good in that department for Hawke's Bay today. He's so often gone through. He's had to ask the question to Chris Pollock, am I onside? Am I not onside? Most times he has been okay. On this side, when he slipped through, he ended up going just to the right, which was through the side, an angle outside of the alleged gate. That's why he's penalised. Boy, you cannot discount this bloke for trying. He has tried his heart out for the Magpies tonight. Slowed down a lot of the red and black ruck ball. Turned over some himself. And I think it's been a good ploy to play him in the lock jersey.
Well, even if they don't win tonight, Hawke's Bay will be encouraged. Because, of course, once the All Blacks come out, they may well meet Canterbury again under far different circumstances. Well, that's 2 tonight from Dan Carter.
Yep.
And looks like reinforcements, Richard.
Yep, fresh legs for Canterbury. 17 is Peter Borlase, and he will take the place of number 3, Owen Franks. And Nasimanu, jersey 19, will replace Isaac Ross. Good night for both these boys. Owen Franks been huge up front for Canterbury, and Isaac Ross been at his athletic best.
So the kickoff is made. Looks like Canterbury in possession of this. Yes, they are through Whitelock.
No.
Now it's Ellis. Bateman off to Laulala. Stepping through a couple of tackles and losing the ball again. Both Casey Laulala and Tim Bateman, most uncharacteristic of them to be losing the ball.
Well, Richard's been so frantic this second 40. I just sense now Canterbury trying to hold the ball and slow the pace of the game down. Field position is going to be the priority for them, but just denying, suffocating any ball from the Magpies as well. They need to get their hands on it. They need field position. They need to try something different in the last 7 minutes to get those 7 points back.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Kamo, and they're past masters at it too, Canterbury. And now the concerns for Hawke's Bay is if they can't get this one across the line, which is looking very much like it's Canterbury's game, they need to be conscious of, they want to get something out of it. Obviously, playoffs, a point would be good for them, and they need to start thinking about a home semi-final, so they need at least a point out of this. 7 points, they don't want Canterbury to get any more.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. 7, 6, 8.
Another difficult scrum for Eaton. They clear it off now to Schumark. Flat pass to Dag. Guildford running into his old mate Sean Maitland. They're pretty good friends, but not just at the moment.
Time off.
Well, Nisbet, there's plenty of old friends out there. In fact, there's 19 players playing in the 2 squads of 22 tonight at a Christchurch Boys High. Well, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
19 players.
That bloke there that you just saw, Carmo, Richard Buckman, jersey 22, has replaced one of those blokes in Andrew Horrell in jersey 12.
So Canterbury looking for a 4th try. Here goes Dan Carter again.
8.
Good tackle on him this time, as Ellis brings it out. Peter Borlase.
No, no, no.
Ellis digs in. Three tries to 1 so far in the game. Ellis pops the little kick. The chase is coming in the form of Patterson. And it's a pretty good one.
Knock on, I think.
22. It's gone off White.
They want to go here, I think. They just want to change the game a little bit, the Magpies. Hawke's Bay, they just don't want to get into this grinding game for the last 5 minutes.
Long kick downfield, taken by Nasi Manu. And the big number 8 shunts it up towards the 10-metre line in Hawke's Bay territory. Now Whitelock, deft little kick through. Nice bounce though for Dag. Oh, steps beautifully. Looks for support, finds it from Guilford, gives it back to Elliott. Guilford is there again. Here comes Zach Guilford. Held it up nicely. Taumalolo. This is Hawke's Bay at their best when they can open it up a little. Flat pass to Waldron. In fact, it was so flat, I think it was forward. Here's Guilford in at halfback. Works it across to Burquist. Now it's Schumark. Hawke's Bay edging their way upfield. Johnson hands it on to Waldron. Chris Eaton brings it out. Richard Buckman in the number 22 jersey. Carried on by Naupu. Hands it back nicely to Eaton. Johnson. Manu goes in, tries to get his hands on it. Has done so. And here's an opportunity for Canterbury through Slade. And there's a knock-on. A forward pass.
Crowd displeased at the turnover, Nasimanu, but he did outstandingly well. He entered correctly, so he went into the ball behind the gate, got his hands on it, and then his body got twisted. But this is what Hawke's Bay had to do: keep it alive, attack, and the more often Guilford and Dag can get their hands on the ball in the closing minutes, the better chance Hawke's Bay have got of stealing this game, or at least getting back for the draw. Putting red and blacks in defensive situations they're not used to. But this is the turnover coming up, being affected here. Nasimanu, correct entry, and then his body got twisted around. No problems there whatsoever.
No, guys, and this break's not really injury related, and this is all about late last-minute instructions to both sides. So the guys running the water bottles, they've got the message from the coaching staff sitting in the stands, and they've run out, and they're all getting the last-minute messages as this one counts down, 3 to go.
Well, one of the messages very clearly, and I think Zach Guilford knows himself, he needs to get involved. Somehow him and Dag, and they team up so well together. Need to be a combination. We know exactly what Canterbury are going to do too when they get their hands on the ball. They'll just try and keep it. Wind down the clock.
So the clock is ticking. Under 3 minutes left now. 7-point lead.
Pause, engage. Just relax.
That's all it is.
Well, Noah and Frank's now on that Canterbury front row. Suna Taumalolo's pretty happy about that. He's had a torrid day against Franks. Now got ball ace to deal with. And all Hawke's Bay want here is a solid platform.
Guilford lurking behind the back line.
Come on, let's go. Yep. Stay where you are now,
Well,
please.
a minute has gone by here.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Now Waldron got his hands on the ball, but he got a lot of the Canterbury players at the same time. There it is now for Eaton. Burquist goes very wide for Dag, drops it off to Guilford, but Laulana read that really well. And Hawke's Bay now have to start all over again, just in their own territory. Elliott. Eaton. Taumalolo.
Roll, read. No, read. No.
Squeezes it back. Now Eaton. For Buckman. Now Naupu. Eaton, oh, that's a poor pass. Johnson did well to tidy it up, but there's plenty of Canterbury jerseys there. And that's a penalty.
Richie McCaw penalised there, but that's the hunger.
Taken quickly by the captain, Jason Schumacher. I think he would have had time there to kick it out and maybe gain a bit of ground. Nice run up the middle by Naupu. To the 22-metre line goes Hawke's Bay.
He's won it. He's won it. He had won it. It was only a
Well, it'll be
tackle.
time for a scrum, and that might be
Only a
it.
tackle.
Last roll of the dice. In this context of this game, and the biggest scrum for Hawke's Bay in the 80 minutes, they have to concentrate. Don't worry about the move. The tight forwards just have to worry about the scrum. George Naupu been so good. Dag's been good. Naupu said the bit. His move from 8 into lock has been a great one. Paid off for Peter Russell. Now it's all concentration here. In particular, Hickory Elliott, the hooker and the tight forwards have to concentrate on the scrum. It will be a set move. Looks like we're all going to come out pod to the left-hand side. 25-metre blind on the left-hand side. That's where the Hawke's Bay backs look to be lining up.
Yep, at the moment, standing right next to them. All out left, couple out right. But tough one for Canterbury to defend. Midfield scrum for Hawke's Bay, so they've got those options galore.
Time on, scrum white.
Dag out to the right, so he's the danger there. And Guildford on this close left-hand touchline.
Richie McCall's gone to blindside flanker.
Oh, they're changing now, heading right.
Siren is gone, incidentally. So this is the final act of this game. And obviously the best that Hawke's Bay can do is draw the match.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
He gets a free kick, which has been taken by Waldron. And away goes Waldron. Fires it off to Tamalolo. Tamalolo! Now, did he get there?
I say he's there.
I think he's out. He's out.
No, it's not given. It is not given. And there's general unhappiness there. But Chris Pollock got the call from his touch judge. Let's have a look.
For me, Grant, I have to say his left-hand leg was up in the air at that stage. I would say no part of his body sliding across hit the white chalk on the initial replay. Don't worry about the corner flag. He didn't even hit the corner flag. The ball was down. It was Andy Ellis making the tackle. The left leg is in question. At the moment, it's up. The ball is down now.
Well. Clearly, quite clearly, it was a try.
Well, it's gone flat here. That's the end of the game. Chris Pollock has walked off. It's 27-20. And Nisbo, it promised so much this match. It delivered in buckets.
Yeah, what a game it was. Handshakes all round now. And who knows, these two sides could meet again. We've got one round remaining after this one. And we sort out the semi-finalists. But victory here tonight for Canterbury. They scored 3 tries to 1 in the end. And they've come out with a victory by 27 points to 20. And we'll just try and line up 1 or 2 players, have a chat with them. But, well, as Jonesy said, it lived up to all its billings. 17-14 Hawke's Bay at half-time. Dan Carter scored all of Canterbury's points in the second spell. And I think we can hear now from Jason Schumacher, and he's with Pod.
Yeah, thanks, Nisbo. Oh, Jason, what a wonderful night. Couldn't quite get there at the end.
No, you know, what a fantastic crowd, and it's great for the provinces to see a crowd like this here, and just unfortunate we couldn't pull it off in the end.
A little nervy to start with. They got one over you, and then you just seemed to grow in confidence, and there was a huge amount of self-belief after they got that first 7-pointer.
Yeah, there was. It was quite disappointing. 2 soft tries in that first half really let us down, but apart from that, I thought we played outstanding, you know, and the second half to win. We just couldn't get out of our 22, and the Red and Blacks just kept on putting the pressure on, and eventually we cracked.
Well, talk to us about your preparation, because Canterbury, you knew they had 10 All Blacks. They were going to come to McLean Park, and obviously it was going to be a big match. What did you talk about during the week in terms of preparation?
Yeah, we just didn't want to let them bully us around the park, you know. We wanted to be confrontational with them and, you know, match them with that. And, you know, they're quite good at trying to push you around, so we didn't want to take any shit from them. And I don't think we did tonight. And I'm just so proud of the boys for how they played tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that, because you got stuck into them at the breakdown, and you would have been pretty happy with your aggression and physicality there.
Yeah, we were outstanding. I suppose those 2 tries that, in the first half hurt us a little bit with this wind. You know, it was real tough in the second half to get out of our own half, so it was tough.
And as always, mate, it wasn't over till the 80th minute. Sona Tomalolo over in the corner, a little bit of controversy, couldn't quite get there, but I guess 1 point.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we never give up, and this team's all about that. You know, we didn't have a great start to the year, and we fought our way back into semi-final contention. And that last 5 was all about character for us, and it was good.
Well, mate, wonderful night in McLean Park. We'll see you up north next weekend against Northland.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Richard.
Jason Schumacher there, and well, they're being treated like heroes by this big crowd here at McLean Park tonight. Real controversy there at the end, and I think we had the benefit, of course, of the replay, and it looked like a try, certainly from what we saw. Anyway, let's hear now from George Whiteblock.
Thanks, Nisbo. George, big day at the office today.
Yeah, it definitely was. Hawke's played really well and put us under a lot of pressure, but, you know, I'm equally as stoked with how our boys went, and, you know, we fronted up pretty well.
Yeah, got off to a wonderful start, 7 points early, and then never seemed to get your hands on the ball for a vast majority of that first half.
No, exactly right. Hawke's put us under a lot of pressure by, you know, putting the ball in the air and using that wind, and we struggled to get out of it, really, and, you know, we tried to do that in the second half, and it was a pretty fair contest.
Yeah, nice to have the comfort of Richie McCaw, Dan Carter, Thorne back in your lineup tonight.
Oh, it's great to have those experienced All Blacks back. You know, they had a fair bit, but the whole 22 tonight.
Yeah, exactly, big team effort. McLean Park in Napier, I don't think you would have seen a crowd like this for a while.
No, it's a great crowd. You know, they're pretty vocal and right behind their team. It's a great atmosphere.
We'd be pretty happy to get out of this with 4 points, and you had a home semi-final. You'll be looking forward to possibly meeting these guys again in the semis.
Yeah, exactly. We've got Southland winning the Shield back next week, so we'll just worry about that.
Well, big weekend next week, no doubt. There'll be plenty making the trip up from Invercargill for that one. Good luck.
Oh, no doubt. Cheers.
Thanks, George. Cheers, mate.
So there we are, George Whiteblock, the captain of the Canterbury team. And boy, what a contest we've had here tonight. It was first against second. So Canterbury now well and truly confirmed a home semi-final. Hawke's Bay might have to wait just a little bit longer to see whether they in fact can host one here at McLean Park. So 27 points to 20 the way it finished up tonight here at McLean Park in Napier. Well, what a game of Air New Zealand Cup rugby we've seen here at McLean Park tonight. Fantastic, really. Canterbury have come out the winners, and they have confirmed a place is in the semi-finals, obviously, and home advantage. 3 tries to 1, 27 to 20. Let's hear from Owen Franks now. He's with Pod.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, Owen, big day at the office. Pretty physical, mobile game, but the old cliche, it starts up front, and I thought you had a big effort up there.
Yeah, it did. You know, started off pretty even battle, but I thought as we got into our work, we started to get some real dominance, and shit, it's real fun out there, you know, when you're dominated at scrum time, and as we started to get some ascendancy, we're having some real fun, so just so stoked to win. Yeah.
Well, it was. I mean, Hawke's Bay, they got stuck into you after you got off to a good start. Yeah. Physical at the breakdown too.
It was real physical, yeah. They're pretty strong guys over the ball, so we really had to sharpen up there, and second half we did a lot better, so and I was pretty happy with it.
And tell us about your preparation coming into this. Obviously, Hawke's Bay, you know, they've got a big forward pack and they like to be physical. What was your plan coming into this?
Basically, the last couple of weeks, I've just been trying to focus on a few key points in my own game, trying to improve, and I was just basically working on myself. I didn't really look at the scrum too much or anything, and just trying to get my little things right first before I focused on them too much. So I thought I ticked off a few boxes today, so I was pretty happy.
Yeah, obviously, big day on Sunday, naming of the All Black squad to tour, and you'd be reasonably happy with what you could do in terms of your performance out there tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I think I've improved a bit in the areas they wanted me to. So whatever happens. I don't take anything for granted. So I know hopefully I'm in there, but if not, there's positives to both sides. So yeah.
And if you do make that set, unfortunately, probably not around for the last defence of the Ranfurly Shield next week. That'll be a big day down in Christchurch.
Yeah, no, it'll be awesome. Hopefully we get some good supporters down there, and it'll be a big day for the boys. So yeah, I think that should be sweet.
Well, mate, good luck for Sunday first of all, and when you get on that tour, good luck over there. Well done.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
There's another good strong game from Owen Franks. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. What a start to week 12 of the Air New Zealand Cup. Canterbury the winners here tonight over Hawke's Bay at McLean Park and Napier, 27 points to 20.
The 2009 Air New Zealand Cup was proudly brought to you by ITM.